I joined the Labour Party after university. I was politicised by the onset of austerity in the early 2010s. I studied economics during university, and as soon as I graduated, the economy was in crisis, and it continued to stagnate. That has been 13 years of the Tory government draining our most essential resources. I was speaking to a nurse, one of our members the other day, and she told me about how she was juggling her life and her kids, and also the increasing demands of shift work because of the shortage of staff. And the most difficult part of that conversation for me to hear was the fact that when she was a nurse in 2010, that was the best that she had ever seen the NHS. And that's one of the things we need to change. I've been a journalist at the Financial Times for the last 8 years. I've covered global economics and geopolitics, and I was posted in Beijing and lived there through a time of increasing authoritarian repression. And coming back to the UK, I realised how precious it is that we have a democracy where we can still use our voice, even if that democracy is being eroded by the current Tory government. And I was also surprised when I came back that Early, this area where my family have lived for 13 years, is no longer going to be the old John Redwood Tory safe seat, but where we'll have a very strong chance of a Labour victory. What we need is a strong campaign to bring together the new parts of this constituency to make this victory a reality.
The only way to get Labour into government is to have that connection with people. One of the main reasons why UN is a great candidate for MP is while I was doing my first experience doing door knocking, she helped me and encouraged me to knock doors.
She'll motivate the activists in a way that I don't think anyone else has quite done. She has that appeal that will draw people in from outside of this constituency to help her. So we will have a new force in Early and Woodley to campaign in the general election that we haven't seen before.
I think she'd be brilliant at national level and bring in huge expertise in areas where we need it, like in economic policy.
I don't think any other kind of politics, other than a people-powered politics, could work at this moment in 2023, when we've been through 13 years of austerity, when the economy is crumbling, when people who are still working full-time even are finding it hard to make ends meet. And I think the only thing that can bring people back into a belief in the power of democracy and the power of politics to enact change is to see it around them in their relationships, in their community, whether it's in their churches, their faith groups, their mosques, their diaspora associations, their neighbourhood watch groups. All of these different associations and communities that make up the fabric of our lives is where we have trust and where we have community building power.
I feel hopeful about UN's candidacy because I think she articulates really clearly how a Labour government could actually make a real difference in people's lives. It has been very dismal these last few years. I really want politicians that are authentic and that know what they're saying and that I can trust.
I hope that over the course of this campaign, the hundreds of conversations my activists and I have had with our members connects people together. I know that already members have made new friends, activists have met neighbours that they didn't realise were actually also Labour members. And I hope that after the hustings, we can keep that energy and translate it into a campaign that secures a Labour victory here in Early and Woodley.